Welcome to Photoshop Fun. In this module we're going to learn how to create a header, and this is going to be an average size header about for a website, 728 pixels in width and 90 pixels in height. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is go up to File, click File, then click New. We will make sure it's 728 pixels wide, 90 pixels in height, the resolution is 72, and a transparent background. The other defaults, it doesn't really matter. Now notice you gotta make sure it's pixels, because it could be pixels, inches, centimeters, millimeters, points, picas, and columns. But we'll make sure it's pixels here. So let's click OK. Then we're going to create a new folder by clicking this here. A new layer by clicking this here. We're going to click on the shape tool, and we're just going to cover this up. And when I said we're going to use a shape tool, you do want to make sure that this shape is marked like this, because it could actually be shape path of pixels. We want to make sure it's shape. Now the next thing we want to do is give it some FS effects. We want to change the color. Now we could do it either this way, or we could go ahead and do FX and do a color overlay. Or we could just go to FX and forget the color overlay. Take that off. And say we want more than one color, we can do a gradient overlay. Make sure it says normal there. Let's make sure this is at 90. And then we click here. We could use some of these presets if we wanted. For instance, we want to use this preset. I'm not going to, but let's say we did. It would change it. We will make sure the opacity is all the way up to 100. See how it changes the colors there. And we could reverse it, align with layers, all this good stuff. That's not what I want. I want to go ahead and be able to choose my own colors. So let's go ahead and use that one here. And we can just click each of these stops, go down to color. Let's say we want a blue. Let's go with a dark blue first. Click this one here, click color, and we can go back all the way back up again. So you want a lighter blue. Now you can scale it, say you wanted more like that, and just click OK. Now the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and add some images. We're going to add an image here and an image here, and in between is where we're going to add our text. So just to give you an idea of what we're going for. But before we do that, let's say you want to add some texture. What you can do is create a new layer, go to Edit, go to Fill, and here's a pattern that I created. So I'm going to put that on there. And for the blend mode here, where it says normal, I'm going to use overlay. And then I'm going to also lower the fill capacity to about 50%. That way the texture is just blending through and it's not like overtaking the whole banner. Okay, next what we're going to do is add our first image. We're going to go up to File, go to Open. My first image is going to be this camera, not that one, but this one right here with the reflection. Open that up. I'm using the Move tool, and then move the camera up here. Wait till this comes back up, and then move it down onto the header or the banner. It's probably a little smaller than what I want, so let's go ahead and do Control T. Pressing our Shift key, we can enlarge it. So this enlarges it proportionately. That's why we're holding the Shift. That way, the width and the height increase at the same amount, same proportion. And just click Enter, and okay, we'll just leave that there. And then we're going to go ahead and add another image over here. Go back to File, go to Open, and my other image will be the transparent money. See if I can find it right here. It is. Using the Move tool, we're going to move that up here. And I'm going to put this in this end. And it's a little large, so we're going to do Control T. Then we'll hold shift and we're going to do this. Still a little larger than what I like. Now, of course, that's not exactly how I like it, so I can move it a little bit like this. Or let's say I want to center it and the height exactly. I can always go up the move. The move tool is clicked already. I can either press Control A or I can go up to select and do all. And what I can do is make sure. Okay, so that is the width. What we want to do is make sure it's here correct. Okay, there you see it moved a little bit, so it wasn't perfectly centered. Then we can do the same thing with the camera if we want. And just do Control D, that deselects it. And next we're going to just go ahead, add a layer, go up to our layer 4 and make sure, and then add a layer. And then we're going to add some text. Click on this T, that's a type tool. And this is our color here. Right now I'm using about 30. I'm going to increase that a little bit to 36. And we're just going to do your headline goes here. And we can just move it right there. Click here. And let's say we want to do a subheadline. Of course, we want the subheadline to be smaller than the headline, so let's do 24. And you can just do your subheadline. And then we can center that where we want it. We could either center it if you want, or if you want to give it a little more pizzazz, you can move it off center a little bit, and that way you're not bound to be having everything centered. Now let's say we want to give this some special effects. So let's go back to our headline, click effects, hit blending options, and then blending options I like to give it a bevel. I always go with outer bevel, and we can do that. You can either do up or down for the direction, and you can just click it here and you can see the difference when you do that. And it's all about what you like, what looks good to you, and you can increase or decrease the size. I think the size here is better decreased to just a small amount. And then just click OK. No, don't click OK yet, because we also want to give it a stroke. We want it to be outside, we don't want it to be inside. We want it just to be enough where it defines our headline for us, so the headline pops out. Then we can give it a little bit of drop shadow. It's at 90, that's where we want it. Multiply. You can increase your drop shadow. If you increase the distance, it stands out a little bit more. I like it right there. Now, to be quick and easy just to do this also with your subheadline, you could go through all those steps again, or you could simply just copy your layer style by going here and right clicking. Then you go to your subheadline and you right click again, and you can just paste it. See how it changed. And that's pretty much how you do a header, and it doesn't really take that long to do. We took longer than 5 minutes, but once you get used to doing this yourself, you can do this in less than 5 minutes. Thank you for watching this tutorial. See you in the next one.